Come here. Come here. Come here, Magic. Magic, come here, good boy. How are ya? Yeah, you a good doggy? Oh, you're a good boy. Oh, I'm a good boy. Good. Come here, Maverick. Good. Come here. Good. How you doing? Yeah? Oh, yeah. Let me put this on. Come here. Come here, Maverick. Good.
There we go. Good job.
You see that sweet? Good. That's nice. Good. Good. Yeah. Very beautiful.
Much improved. He used to be wiggling all over the ground, rolling over, turning his head the opposite way.
I like that.
Impossible to get a leash or a collar on him.
Oh, that's good.
It's crazy. At 8 months old, it's already so cemented in.
Come here.
They must have been putting leashes and collars on, and then, I mean, it was just controlling where he had to go. So his association is, I don't want to put it on. He's been like this since day one.
Yes, good. And also, when you put a leash on, if the dog's trying to resist it, but then you manage to get it on anyway, you're not going to make any progress.
No.
You're going to fight it, right? So I'm having him allow me to put it on without moving away. Relax. See that? It's all right, too.
Yep.
Good. Good. It starts with putting the leash on. If he's fighting putting the leash on, you're not going to have a good walk.
Nope.
He's already saying, I don't want to listen.
Yep.
The leash represents control. You're giving control to the human. See how quick you are?
Good.
Good. If I did a trade for something you wanted, like food, we're bypassing hierarchy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We're skipping the conversation we need to have.
Nice.
And this will create a stable mind. He's complying from the very beginning of putting on the leash before we even go out for a walk. Good. Good boy. Very nice.
Nice work.
Good. Good. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Nice.
Good.
Notice how he stopped testing the recall.
Mm-hmm. Good. Good.
Nice.
That's good. Nice work. That's a very good boy. Ain't that nice? Isn't that nice? Good boy. You never rode with a pet like this before either.
Mm-mm. He was so wild.
Oh yeah. Completely crazy. Almost felt like he'd never been in a house before.
I know. He's like feral. I mean, I'm sure when everyone's like sitting around watching TV, he's probably laying around chewing a bone.
As soon as you start touching him.
I know, as soon as you start even looking at him, he starts going nuts. These dogs are meant to be like sniffing bombs in airports. These dogs are meant to be going
They don't have to be though. It's all your relationship and what you expect once you're a leader.
Yeah.
They don't need to be. We've worked with plenty of high drive dogs that can mellow out and have a great life. without going into those drives and be completely happy and completely fine.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not under the belief that every dog who has high drive needs to be working. I've just seen it not be the case.
Yeah.
It's just lifestyle. It's whatever you pattern the brain.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you don't need his exercise and you don't need that outing, but oftentimes, just about every dog, I would say every dog I've worked with, a nice hike will do the trick.
Yeah.
That's enough of an outing.
Yeah.
To get
Mental,
the energy
physical
out and to run around.
stimulation.
It doesn't have to be. His job is to listen.
Mm-hmm.
He's a working dog. Well, your job is to listen and follow directions. And part of it is with a calm brain.
Yeah.
Now listen, if he's as crazy as he is around other dogs, he's going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
He's not getting in trouble with humans properly when they're not able to calm him down.
Right.
Right? And get
Other
the message
dogs would
out.
correct it.
The dogs get it done.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's a working breed, so he can't be calm.
Yeah.
I've heard it said over and over again, but it's not true. Even a dog like the bulldog buck, his drive can be enhanced. It just won't be as intense as this breed.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but you find an outlet that gets the dog satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I think hikes tend to be the universal kind of outing that all dogs can get their energy out and find a good time and be satisfied with, like a nice walk and a nice hike.
Oh, it's so natural.
Yeah. You know?
Moving through the woods together.
Well, we live with these dogs for large clips at a time. So, you know, you live with the dog a month and you realize they're satisfied, their energy is satisfied, they get their outlet, and all we're doing is, as far as like running around and going up in energy, is a nice hike.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And we come back and be calm.
I'm not saying you can't do this, but we're not doing sniffing bombs. We're not doing any scent work with them.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing fetch.
No.
We're not doing tug.
Be careful with fetch. That activates a part of the brain that is, it's a thin line.
Listen, there's so many schools of thought, but as a guy who just does a calm companion who can listen, you don't need all that stuff.
No.
And it's not even fun, really. Not to me. I'd rather just hike with a dog.
Yeah.
I don't want to be playing tug with them, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to be at the mercy of throwing the ball, thinking that you have to get your dog's energy out. So many people fall into that trap. If you like to do it, good. I do personally believe there's fallout to that stuff.
Absolutely.
I think I haven't met a dog who doesn't get obsessed with it.
Yep.
And it ends up creating some instability somewhere.
Absolutely. Remember we trained that one German Shepherd, and every time after she would play fetch with her owner outside, she would come in and take the Yorkie and shake it.
Right. You have to, let's put it this way, if you're gonna do that stuff,
you gotta turn the drive off.
You have to be able to turn it off. And you can, if you know what you're doing, you can turn it on and turn it off.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of that. You can say just for this particular activity, you can turn on these drives to a degree.
Yeah.
But as soon as I make this sound, you turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't turn it off, you get corrected. And that is possible. The average person can't do that, as we know. So therefore, you get your dog amped up. Also, even the anticipation of the action, like we're gonna go play the thing, you're gonna have a whole bunch of terrible behavior until you get there.
Yep.
If you can't regulate the mind, it's easy in theory. This is how I would look at it to keep it simple. The dog's not allowed to access those drives they're not allowed to raise their energy unless you've offered. So if you catch your dog raising their energy, you correct and create calmness. The only time they're allowed to raise their energy is if you release them and tell them to partake in the activity, whether it be running around in the woods, playing fetch, or whatever activity you're doing. But they're not allowed to do it without your permission, and as soon as you say we're done, you expect calmness. You correct everything but calmness after you say we're done. And for me, it's the shush. If I shush my dog,
we're done.
Calmness.
Yeah.
So you can have your cake and eat it too, but that's rare for people to get because you have to really work.
You have to master your skill. You really have to master it.
It really takes, takes some time and dedication to get that. I don't get a dog that's high drive for my personal pack anyway, because I don't enjoy playing fetch, and I don't enjoy playing tug. You know what I mean? So, or I don't enjoy going and doing scent work, and I don't enjoy going and doing sports with them. I grew up in the mountains with dogs where you're just a part of the family. They're in the hierarchy below you. They enhance your life. They make everything better. But I'm not doing sports and all this stuff for them personally. It's not a thrill for me. A thrill is a good dog, a good companion who listens, who can go with me places, be included, who can listen. And here and there, we're gonna, you know, I'll play with my dogs. I have a way of playing with them. Here and there, I might play a version of tug or a version of fetch, but it's not like my daily routine. This is how I get your energy out. This is what you can expect. I'm just not into living with dogs like that. But I do like to hike them, and I do like to walk with them, and I do like to explore new areas with them, new mountains, new trails. That is my speed. So living with all these different breeds for as much as we have, they all love it. They all love to explore. And so that becomes the way to get the energy out. And it seems to me, my personal opinion, to be a more balanced and stable way. The brain doesn't actually hit those drives. If they try to chase a squirrel or something, correct? We don't go into those drives. You're not allowed to go into those drives.
Yep, he went hard. Remember that yesterday? He went hard at a squirrel yesterday.
You see a squirrel, we let him
Yep.
go. He
Correct.
couldn't get to chasing
Yep.
the squirrel, correct, recall,
He's
reset, go
drag
back out.
somebody over, going
And
like
guess
that.
what? When he sees a squirrel, doesn't want anything to do with it.
Yep.
Right? It's all about the patterning, the associations in the brain. Just because he's a shepherd, or just because you have a Malinois or something, in which we've worked with, doesn't mean you're gonna need to get him out for 3 hours a day and get all this exercise. I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not finding it. I'm just
Right.
saying, in my personal experience, are you seeing it?
No.
I'm seeing good dogs who are happy.
Yes.
A simple hike, simple walk, we're good. Never had to touch a ball, never had to play tug, never had to put them on scent work. Never had to, stimulate the brain in that way. Just not seeing it. But if you go online, you go and look it up, the first thing you're going to see is your dog's understimulated. No, the dog's not understimulated. It's getting stimulated. It's chewing up the house. It's tearing up the house. It's going crazy on the walks. It's not a focused and productive way of getting the energy out. But your dog will get it out. They know here, we go on a hike, we go explore new territory, go get it out, right? So I want to encourage, unless you really have this guy where he needs to be, going and entering those drives.
Yep.
Every day in order to, quote unquote, get his energy out or stimulate his brain because he needs it because he's a working dog, And we got friends, good friends who are great trainers who have working breeds who don't need to do that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need to go and do all this crazy stuff. In fact, I would argue that the ones that do all the crazy stuff
struggle.
In my own eyes,
struggle.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you guys because I've seen it with my own eyes over and over again.
Yeah.
It's not something I read. I see it over and over again. The ones who are more involved in those types of activities are the ones getting in trouble. They're the ones that are getting into dog fights. They're the ones that are just too crazy to listen. It's like giving them some Coke and then getting them hooked on that. They're going to have withdrawal. So they don't need it. The dogs, if they don't have it, they never had it, they don't know the difference. You know what I mean? So he doesn't need an extracurricular activity to get his energy out. Just a hike and walks, hikes and exploring stimulate the brain very well. Very well.
I love dogs. He's literally just licking the floor.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to humanize dogs, just live with them for a while. Watch their behavior. They eat poop. They lick the floor.
Oh, yeah.
They lick their butthole.
And then lick your face.
Yep. I mean,
To
just
each their own.
mindlessly licking the floor.
And I'm a guy who loves dogs, but you have to love them for what they are.
Yeah. Let's stop that. I don't know what the heck he's licking up on the floor.
Yeah, you can stop anything you want once you have that ability to correct. I know before training they were correcting, but it was creating a lot of bitching.
Yep.
Right?
Well,
which
just
is
like
not
you
good.
saw putting the leash on.
Right. All
And
that stuff.
it's insane.
Good.
Oh.
So, he's doing really well. I'm going to take him out for a walk right now. He has his time out in the yard. He has his socials, which is another great thing.
Dude, he
He has
goes
a
nuts in
social,
socials.
where they can interact with their own kind and have playtime. I think that's very healthy. And I notice him very satisfied. His energy is very stable. He gets it out every day within the social yards or a hike. And he's satisfied. So don't feel the need that you need to do 3 hours a day of exercise. It just doesn't seem, in my opinion, from what I've seen in my time doing this, that all seems to be a bunch of baloney.
How much will someone have to pay you to lick this floor?
There's a price. I mean, it's not that dirty right now. You clean it.
My gosh.
But I just want a good companion who listens to me, who can be chill 99% of the day, take that 1% of the day or whatever, and let them have an activity that doesn't have fallout. And I find hikes to be the safest.
Yeah.
They
love it.
They love
and it's
it.
not an obsessive.
It's not obsessive. See, once you hit,
ball,
once
fetch,
you hit that,
ball,
it's,
fetch,
I had dogs given to me that I've adopted that had already had those associations, and it just fucks them for life.
Yep.
It just fucks them.
Ask us how we know.
Here and there, doing it is much different than creating an everyday routine doing it.
Yeah, and like the ball can't even be in the house. I've seen people like that.
It's insanity.
Yeah.
And if that exists in the brain and you're allowing that to come up every day, it's going to contribute to other areas of the life too. So
why do my walks suck?
If you want to do it, you have to know how to turn off the drive and be very good at that, like this.
Yep.
I turned it off, obviously. Listen, if it was up to him, he'd probably be all over the place.
Oh, he'd be spinning in circles, licking the floor, licking the ceiling.
If you don't want to do it, if you don't want to do those activities, guess what? You're fine.
Yeah.
Your dog's not going to not have a way to get his energy out. I would encourage hiking. I would encourage that. Or even if you don't hike, go to an open field.
Yeah.
And walk the perimeter. Let the dog go.
Snap.
Have a few different locations that you juggle, that you mix up, where the dog can get fresh scents and use their nose in a natural way and all that. Now there's certain things he's just not going to be allowed to do. He's not going to be allowed to chase the squirrel. He's not going to be allowed to do these things that are natural.
Because it turns on that dangerous drive in his brain.
Is it natural for him to be living in this house with us?
I know.
Okay, so there's give and take.
Yep.
He's not going to be allowed to enter the hunting drives, all right, without correction. And the brain adjusts and they live a great life. So, I think that the biggest thing for him, for a dog who is high drive, you just have to be able to look at state of mind and understand what calm submission is. That's what it is. So take a look. If you're like, what is calm submission? Right there.
That's it.
Even when he's standing up and walking around, the mind is there.
Yeah.
Right? If he leaves that on his own, I correct him.
Yeah.
Cool thing is, the dogs all know exactly what we're correcting.
Because the pack members do that to them.
Yes, absolutely. So you expect calmness all the time unless you've offered otherwise. If the dog leaves the calm state and you haven't offered it, he gets corrected. Simple as that, keeps it nice and simple, creates a nice balanced dog, and have your outings that you do to get his energy out. I would recommend hiking, nice long walks, things like that, and then you'll have yourself a very good life with him.